My thoughts, my opinion. Sports podcast.
Yo, what it is? Welcome back to another episode of MTMO Sports Podcast, Doug. And this is my 147th thought, yo. Damn, I haven't been in this seat in a minute, yo, and I ain't did a live in probably about 2 weeks or something in that nature, yo. And I'm so glad that I am able to come back to my normal time, as normal, coming back to 6 o'clock. Secondly, coming back on my Fridays, yo, and giving y'all my dope topics to talk about, yo. Because I got some dope ones to talk about, you feel me? Gonna be talking about how New England went out and spent that cash in the free agency, yo. They was the number one team that spent the most money this year, yo, in this offseason. Gonna get my opinion on that, yo. Gonna talk about is Detroit basketball is back, yo. Most definitely can't wait to get my opinion about them, yo, and see, you know, as the NBA season is starting to wind down, you know, where they gonna be able to fit in the seeding and, you know what I mean, what's their limit? So where they might go, you feel me? So can't wait to get my opinion on that. And last but not least, the ladies, the W is right around the corner, yo. The schedule had came out. They showed what teams is going to be playing on national TV and all that good stuff. And I ain't going to hold you, yo. They did put a team that I did not believe they gave them that much national TV time. But stay put, stay tuned, get relaxed, yo, because like I said, I can't wait to get my opinion on that as well. But before I go any further, yo, if you are not already, please like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel as I'm trying to reach to my small mini goal to my 1,000 subscribers, you feel me? And I need your help to get me there, you feel me? So, like I said, if you haven't already, yo, please go ahead and subscribe, yo, because I guarantee you need MTMO Sports Podcast in your YouTube or in your podcast rotation, you feel me? Because I always talk about the dopest things, yo. I always talk about and give my opinion on how I feel about what's going on in the sports world, yo. So, like I said, yo, go out here and tell a friend who can be a friend, who could possibly wants to be your friend, that MTMO Sports Podcast is the podcast that they need in their rotation, you feel me? So, like I said, help me get there, you feel me? I think I'm sitting at 372, somewhere around in that range, but I'm still looking to grow, you feel me? So, make sure y'all go out here and spread the word, yo. Also, speaking of spread the word, y'all already know that I am a regional coordinator of Walk a Mile in Our Shoes, and this is a dope nonprofit organization, you feel me? So if you're not tapped in already, yo, please tap in, because Walk a Mile in Our Shoes is giving back to the community, and we out here giving back strong, you feel me? So if you not already, yo, please go out there and follow them in all social media platforms. You feel me? It's right there on the bottom at the ticker. As you can clearly see, it says Walk a Mile in Our Shoes. Like I said, yo, we out here doing great things. This last week? Yeah, last week. We had a food drive for the less fortunate. We able to make almost 100 sandwiches. Had chips. We had water for them. And we went out there and spread the love for them. You know, it was a great turnout. We was able to get rid of all our food and everything for them. So it was a great thing, yo. Like I said, yo, Walk a Mile in Our Shoes. Thank you for coming to Baltimore. Thank you for helping me be able to give back to my community the best way I can possibly give back. You feel me? So, like I said, yo, make sure y'all go out here, follow them, because we here in Baltimore. We got in 2 locations in New Jersey, North Jersey and South Jersey. South Jersey also have a clothes drive coming up for Walk a Mile in Our Shoes up in the I think it's Camden area, if I'm not mistaken. So, like I said, yo, if you want to spread the word, if you're in the New Jersey, South Jersey area, go and Walk a Mile in Our Shoes. Information is all there for you. All right, got the business part of the show over with now. Now let's go ahead and start talking about some sports. You feel me? Because yo, it's been a lot going on in the sports world. You feel me? And all different levels. I know everybody probably went out and seen my last short, and if you haven't, please go out and see what I talked about the Stephen A. and LeBron situations going on, Like that situation to just go ahead and die down, Like, it's starting to get petty, like real petty, and it started to feel like high schoolish. But it's entertainment. You never know; they could just be out here just entertaining, capping, especially that whole Stephen A. talking about. If LeBron would have put hands on him, he'd have swung on him immediately. Like, come on, Doug. But like I said, go ahead and watch my YouTube short. I guarantee you it's going to be what you looking for. But we not here to talk about those two. We're here to let's talk about some NFL, y'all. Let's go ahead and get ready because the NFL season, you already know, is getting ready to start capping off real soon. April is just a couple days away. And so the NFL draft is also a couple weeks away. So that's coming up. But before we even get there, it was one team that made sure that they got busy in this offseason when the free agents came available, Doug. And I ain't gonna hold you. This team really went out there and spent their money well worth. They made sure they got everything in every position that they can possibly get for them. And you want to know who that team is, Doug? The New England Patriots, The New England Patriots was the top team in this free agency far as spending money. Like, they was out there spending cheese like it was nothing. You know what I mean? Like, let me tell you how much they spent, you feel me? Like, on their first day, the first free agency day, they spent $264.5 million on the first day of free agency. And they had the most available cap space than free agency, going into free agency. They had $122.4 million of cap space. So we already knew it was like if New England go ahead and spend that money right, these guys can be a real contender. And I ain't gonna hold you, Doug. They did that. They went out there and spent that bread. Like I said, $264.5, And this is now what's kind of funny is like, why didn't you spend that money last year with Gerard Mayo? It kind of gets me questioning it. It's just like, I remember one of my coworkers was telling me that, it was in New England's contract that they had to give Gerard Mayo the successor job after Bill Belichick. That was the only reason why he was the head coach. And they gave him that 1 year, and then boom, and they ain't spend that money like they did for their new head coach and Mike Vrabel. Like, Mike Vrabel is coming into a great situation now. They put them in situations to where that New England can possibly be the second best team in the AFC East. Like, possibly. You know what I mean? It's like it all depends on how things start clicking. You want to know why I said that, Because the New England Patriots went out here and did something that a lot of teams tried to go ahead and mimic also, like the Chicago Bears. The New England Patriots went out here and cut 3 of their offensive linemen last year and brought in 3 brand new offensive linemen. You feel me? They brought in Morgan Moses. They brought in way more than. No, they got a whole new offensive lineman. You feel me? They got Lowe, they got Strand, they got Bradbury, they got Anue, and they got Morgan Moses now. All on that offensive lineman. You want to know why, Because the New England Patriots was sacked 52 times. Their quarterback was sacked 52 times last year, which was tied 5th in the NFL. That's a lot of pressure for your rookie quarterback to get sacked that many times. You know what I mean? And 9% of the sack percentage, and it was 9% sack percentage, which is 4th worst in the NFL, which means they wasn't touching nobody. but that quarterback was getting touched. You know what I mean? So the New England Patriots went out here and did a smart move and went investing in their offensive lineman, which was a great move, great idea. But you just can't just stop there. And they didn't. They went out here and grabbed multiple positions. You feel me? It didn't just stop at the offensive lineman. They went on here and brought in Milton Williams, who was a defensive tackle, who was the coming off a Super Bowl win. They went out there and got Harold Landry, which is a defensive end, which means that defensive line look a little different now. They went out here and got the cornerback Carlton Davis the third, and they got safety Marcus Epps. They ain't just worried about that line, you feel me? Like I said, on that line, they went and got Moses, and they got Garrett Bradbury for that center. And I think Moses played the right tackle, if I'm not mistaken. They went and still went on the defensive side and went and got Robert Spillane. On the wide receiver side, they got Mac Hollins, which is probably going to be a pretty solid number 2 wide receiver, you know what I mean, depending on their scheme and how they want to run things. Once again, they went and got another offensive lineman in Wes Schwarzenegger. They went and got a backup quarterback in Josh Dobbs, who's always a great guy to have on your team. And on they didn't stop there on the defensive end. They went and got Toga that played defensive tackle. They went and got Kevon Chelson that plays defensive end. It's like they went out there and plugged in all different areas where I felt like they really needed. And they did that. And not to stop there, they went on here and brought in a top dog in a wide receiver and Stephon Diggs. Now, granted, Stephon Diggs is coming back from an ACL injury. We're not going to really see who he really is right away. Now, I'm pretty sure I haven't checked out his workouts and seen his progression or anything like that coming from his injury. But I'm pretty sure, Stephon Diggs can come around probably around, I'm going to say about week 3. That's just me. You know what I mean? Week 1, depending on if he's going to be out there early, especially when mini camps start opening up and stuff like that. If Stephon Diggs is out there participating early, then yeah. But I'm pretty sure they're going to slow wind him. They're not going to just automatically just throw him to the fire. They're going to, gradually make sure that he's fine and capable to get out there. I'm pretty sure that the doctor's going to have to clear him as well. So, but still having Stephon Diggs on there, and you sign him to a 3-year deal. But if things don't go right between the New England Patriots and Stephon Diggs, they can go ahead and cut ties with him at the year 1. Like I was just reading that not too long ago. Shout out to CBS Sports on that note. And I had seen, I was like, dang, so if things don't work out well between Stephon Diggs and the Patriots, he can go ahead and get cut at the year 1, and you sign him to a 3-year contract. It's like, woo, that's something. You know what I mean? But still, the Patriots still went out here and made some great roster moves. Now, we got to see how Drake May is going to come into year 2. I'm pretty sure, but Drake May played well in his rookie season, in my opinion. Now, it wasn't Jaden Daniels type of year. And even it wasn't even type of Bo Nix, but he showed that he had the potential. If you give him weapons, if you give him some time, he ain't got to be running for his life. And maybe if Mike Vrabel can come up with some great schemes for him to actually probably get rid of the ball out of his hands a little bit quicker, I think that it will work out for him. And I think that, like I said, I think that the New England Patriots is cut out to be, in my opinion, the second best team in the AFC East. You still can't put them over the Bills. Even, I understand that the Bills ain't really made a big splash or nothing like that in the free agency. But what the Bills did last year, I don't think that it's a fluke, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So that's just pretty much how I feel. Like the Bills is still the number one team in that division. But the New England Patriots is really, really coming up to be the second best team in the East. Because I really don't see that the Dolphins didn't really make a splash in the free agency, and the Jets. I think the Jets is going to have some growing pains in year one, in my opinion. So don't get me wrong. I think Justin Fields is going to be fine. I think Justin Fields is going to play. He's going to show that he should be a starting quarterback in this league. But I just don't feel like the Jets have just enough just yet to actually, start competing for that, second spot just yet. But things can change. You never know. But I think with the way New England position themselves, yeah. They is most definitely the solid number two. But Stephon Diggs, when he got signed on with the Patriots, he is the highest paid Patriot on offense since Tom Brady in 2019, Doug. Averaging $23 million annually. That's a lot. So I really just think that they can most definitely come second in the East. Shout out to my man Kurt is in the building, yo. Go Pack, go as always. He's most definitely a Patriots fan. And yeah, yo, they most definitely kick out that cash. So do you think they're going to have a top tier team since they spent all that money? Now, I'm not going to say they're going to have a top tier team. I'm not going to say that. I really feel like that the Patriots are going to be a decent, solid team. I think that you should not sleep on the Patriots if when you have them on your schedule. I think that the Patriots will beat a playoff team in the regular season. I'm not going to give them a lot, but I think they will beat a playoff team. You never know. They might even catch one. They might catch the Bills in one of those games. But I'm not giving them a Super Bowl hope just yet. Because I really just feel like that the AFC is really deep. You still got some other teams that's in different divisions that can possibly make some noise in the AFC. So I don't give them no deep AFC run. I give them a wild card spot though. I will give them that. Depending on how things fall in the AFC, like I said, you never know. The AFC go down to the last week. So I would give the Patriots pretty much like a wild card spot as of right now, Kurt. So yeah, but not only that the Patriots did that during the free agency, you feel me? The Patriots still got a chance of adding another weapon, a stars type player coming up in the draft. And his name is Travis Hunter. If things go the way that New England wants it to go, because they sitting at the number 3 spot, I feel like that Cam and Shador will come off the board early, and first and second type early, in my opinion, because the Titans need a quarterback, the Browns need a quarterback in the future, and I just think that Shador and Cam will come off the boards fast, and this will lead to Travis Hunter. And I think that New England will go ahead and pull the gun to get Travis Hunter, because Travis Hunter can be so lethal that he can be a lethal cornerback duo with the cornerback that the Patriots have already, or it could potentially be and maybe a lethal wide receiver duo with him and Stephon Diggs. And oh man, that can be scary. You know, like I said, depending on Stephon Diggs, how he produced, and depending on if the New England Patriots are really, really sold on Travis Hunter and the draft falls right, why the hell not? You know, I mean, he said he wants to play both sides. He said he wants to play cornerback and he wants to play wide receiver. Now, granted, you're not going to put them on. You're going to give him a snap count on both sides. You know what I mean? You probably let him play 10 and 10, something in that nature. That way he still get 20 reps, you know what I mean, out there. Or on a wide receiver tip, you only play him on certain downs, you know what I mean, and he played 4 corner. However, the New England Patriots will play that, but that could be something real scary to really think about coming up in this upcoming draft. You know, if the New England Patriots were really sold on Travis Hunter and the Browns and the Titans don't mess shit up, you feel me? So, the New England Patriots can really be sit right this upcoming season, Doug. So I would not be surprised if things go right and go in their favor for the Patriots, yo. Ooh, my man Mike be in the house saying, yo, tell them everybody we back. Now, Mike, like I just covered, I don't know if you did, I'm pretty sure you're a little late to the party. But don't get me wrong, you spent money well for the New England Patriots. I feel like the New England Patriots did everything, got everybody where, you know what I mean, where they actually want. They picked up good defensive players, they picked up good offensive linemen as well to protect your future quarterback. But I'm still not saying that the New England Patriots are a Super Bowl contender just yet. I'm not going to say that. Like I was saying earlier, I feel like the New England Patriots will be the second best team in the AFC East. I feel like the New England Patriots will be a wild card team. I just don't feel like the New England Patriots can really go deep into the playoff this upcoming. So like I said, because the AFC is so deep, and you know what I mean, the AFC can shift up and move around however it can go, you feel me? My man said, I think drafting Hunter or Abdul Carter makes us a wild card for sure. Most definitely, like I said, even without, if y'all didn't draft these guys in this upcoming season, I still think y'all will be a wild card team. You feel me? Like I said, it's most definitely going to really depend on Stephon Diggs' health. If he can come back and be, you know what I mean, ready to go week 1, that's a big plus for y'all. If he can at least come back at least by before week 6, you know what I mean? Because, you know, after I say about week 8 of the season, that's when you kind of start seeing teams or who they really are and how things may shape up towards the end, you feel me? So I just think that the New England Patriots are so far in a good position right now, barring health. You know what I mean? Hopefully y'all guys can come into the season, you know, really healthy this year. But if y'all can most definitely go ahead and draft either Travis Hunter or, like you said, Abdul Carter, it's a plus. I really just think that if y'all draft Travis Hunter, it's like a double Swiss Army plus for y'all. But all in all, I think the New England Patriots is a wild card team this upcoming season, yo. So stay tuned. Can't wait to see, you know what I mean, how things shape up for the New England Patriots. I wish y'all nothing but the best. We already know who I'm rocking with, yo. Black and purple all day long. Nothing else. You know, it even felt weird even talk about the Patriots, but I ain't gonna hold y'all. Sports is sports. I had to show the Patriots some love. They did their thing. You want to know, let's switch it over to the NBA, yo. You want to know the team that's really out here doing their thing, shocking the world a little bit, out here balling, Doug? And I think that you can go ahead and say that Detroit basketball Yeah, they is most definitely Detroit basketball is back, yo. They is out here balling. Like, when the last time that we can actually sit here and talk about the Detroit Pistons in a positive way? Like, this team is a team that I think people need to go out here and watch, yo. If you got the NBA League Pass, or you're about to see them because the playoffs is getting ready to start. But I ain't gonna hold you. The Detroit Pistons really surprised me this year, and I'm excited for them because I think the Detroit Pistons got the great recipe for a team. They got a mixture of young guys. They got a mixture of veterans. They got a seasoned head coach. They no disrespect to Monty Williams and I forgot whoever was the head coach before, but JB Bickerstaff really could put an imprint on teams. He really helps teams out because we got to remember, yo, he was the reason why the Cleveland Cavaliers had great success, yo. And you can clearly see right here, JB Bickerstaff got his guys' attention. Everybody is focused and paying attention to detail. This is why I say that JB Bickerstaff is a great head coach, yo. And this is exactly what the Detroit Pistons really need. The Detroit Pistons right now are sitting at the number 5 spot. They are 41-32, yo. That's way better than what they were last year before. The Detroit Pistons have not been this good, Doug, since probably, what was it, like 20? Man, you can say around them Chauncey Billups and Rip Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince, Ben Wallace, and Rasheed Wallace days, yo. That was like back when I was in high school. That was back when I was in high school for real, yo. Like, damn. That was probably what, like 03, 04 is when that team had beat the Lakers. You know what I mean? Somewhere around that nature, yo. That's probably I think that was like the last time the Detroit Pistons was kind of relevant. Don't get me wrong. If I'm wrong, go ahead and chat me in the chats, you feel me? But I think that was the last time the Detroit Pistons was like relevant or good for real, yo. And like I said, and this is dope for the NBA. This is dope for the Detroit Pistons, yo, because the Detroit Pistons always really had some solid teams for real. They always had solid players. They always, you know what I mean, the Isaiah Thomas, the Grant Hills. I mentioned the Chauncey Billups in them team. You know what I mean? And for a while, yo, no, you know what? I'm wrong, y'all. I remember the stat. The last time that the Detroit Pistons was there a playoff team was when they had Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond, you know. That's and I think that was like around 2014-ish, somewhere around that range, yo. That's the last time the Detroit Pistons made the playoffs, yo. Boom. Haha. Told y'all, yo, I be keeping the sports stuff all registered up here, but you know what I mean? The year could be wrong, but I feel like that was around the 2014-ish, 2015-ish year, somewhere around that time frame. But the Detroit Pistons really got the recipes, like I say, yo, they got themselves an all-star in Cade Cunningham. Because Cade Cunningham really showed himself that he is a true all-star in his league, yo, and he need his respect. He's averaging 25.7 points a game. Like, that's a major jump from what he was averaging last year. Right now, as of right now, yo, he played every game this year. Cade Cunningham right now, I think he's either third or fourth for the triple doubles this year. Before the All-Star break, he was third. He was behind Nikola Jokic and I think LeBron. So, and triple doubles is starting to see a lot of triple doubles this year. You know what I mean? You see Jokic is having so many goddamn triple doubles. They don't even make no damn sense, Doug. But Cade Cunningham is really matured his game, yo. He is leading his team with an assist at 9.2 assists a game. Like he is like, and I think that he is averaging probably about like 6.1 rebounds, somewhere around in that nature, yo. Like they have themselves a star, a homegrown star. They didn't go out here and trade for nobody and nothing. They went out here and drafted this guy, developed this guy. This guy took the time and became who he is. An all-star type of guy, a guy, your leader, your leading scorer, your face of the franchise right now. It's Cade Cunningham. And that's what the Detroit Pistons was missing all along. Don't get me wrong. Yes, they needed some others than just the face of the franchise, but got the face of the franchise, and then you wind up getting the right recipes around him. Like I said, you got the great mixture of veterans and like Tobias Harris and everybody. We joke about Tobias Harris, him just getting cardio last year with the Philadelphia 76ers, but you know what I mean? He is actually, what he averaging this year? Tobias Harris is averaging 13.8 points a game. You know, that's around his average for real. But he's playing his role. He's playing he playing who he is. They went out and got Tim Hardaway Jr., who's averaging 10.3 points a game. Now, don't get me wrong. We would like to see more for Tim Hardaway Jr., but hey, he's playing his role. They got Dennis Schroeder that can play the backup point guard. They also got Jaden Ivey, who's the great backup point guard, who's the number 2 in scoring. And then they got Shea Thompson, the twin. Like, and he's been playing lockdown defense on guys. So it's like they have the right mixture, yo. So I really just feel like the Detroit, I'm excited for the Detroit Pistons now. I think they are they are like the 5th seed, I believe I said they are. Yeah, they are the 5th seed right now. So they will play like the they will play the Indiana Pacers if the playoffs start right now. And I think that they can go toe-to-toe with the Indiana Pacers. Don't get me wrong. The Indiana Pacers, is when they hot, they hot. You see they just threw up 162 points the other night. So when they hot, but it was against the Wizards. But when they hot, they are hot. This is the team that beat the New York Knicks last year to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, they did get wally-wop against the Boston Celtics last year, but the Boston Celtics was the best team in the NBA last year. That's why they became champs. But I really feel like the Detroit Pistons can go 7 games against the Pacers. I really feel like the Detroit Pistons can maybe somehow beat the Pacers in the first round if the playoffs starting right now. You know why? Because the Detroit Pistons has won 26 games in the East this year. 26 games. Out of that, 41. So they most definitely can go play against in their conference. So, and I just think that the Pacers only won 25 games in the conference this year. It's just one game, but that's a stat. That's something positive for the Detroit Pistons. So I can maybe see them squeeze to the second round. I wouldn't be surprised if they get to the second round. Let me just say that for the Detroit Pistons. But I really just think that the Detroit Pistons are a team to be excited for in the first round. I don't see the Detroit Pistons going deep into the playoffs. I don't see them. I'm not saying that they are going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, if something happened, injuries bond on something on these playoff runs, and they remain healthy and they wind up winning, then woo! I think that's the only scenario I can really see. I still think that Boston is a strong team to worry about when it comes to this Eastern Conference Finals. I still think that even though the Cleveland Cavaliers Been on a kind of a roller coaster ride on these last couple of weeks. I still feel like the Cleveland Cavaliers are still a team that you have to worry about. Also, that can potentially be in the Eastern Conference Finals, or if you come across them. When the New York Knicks get healthy and they get Jalen Brunson back, they can be a scary team as well, especially the way Karl Anthony Towns has been balling. And we already seen what Jalen Brunson can produce. So I really just think that the Pistons can be, like I say, be excited to for them in the first round. But as far as these guys, going against these heavy hitters, and you still got the Milwaukee Bucks, even though they just lost Dame Lillard to the blood clot issue, man. And that sucks that these blood clots are just like going around in an NBA, man. It's really. I think that some of these guys maybe have to look at the nutrition or whatever they are using, or I'm not even gonna say using, or whatever they are possibly doing, as far as their workouts, their nutrition, stuff like that, man. This could be the reasons for these blood clots coming up, man. Like I said, I'm no doctor, but it's just like, damn. We seen that Wemby had it. We seen that Brandon Ingram had it. We seen that it ended Chris Bosh's career early. So it's just like, man, this is just some scary stuff. But the Milwaukee Bucks still have Giannis as long as he's still healthy. I feel like the Milwaukee Bucks is still a team that you still can not just fully close the door on them. We was laughing at Milwaukee in the beginning of the season, saying like, well, you got Doc Rivers, you got the coach that you wanted, and then look at it, it ain't working. But they somehow, some way climbed back up to that 6th spot right now, and they holding that spot this over Atlanta right now. So they ain't got to worry about a play-in. So, you never know, Doug. Things can happen. As my man Kirk he's a true Boston fan. I'm pretty sure Mike can go ahead and attest to this as well, yo. I understand, yo. Not this year for the Pistons. I totally get it. And that's what I just alluded to, that I still feel like that the Detroit Pistons, it's just something they're excited for the first round, yes. But when it comes to the Boston Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers and possibly the New York Knicks, they're going to have a tough time against those teams. You feel me? So see what I tell y'all. Told you, my man Mike and Kurt, yo, nothing but Boston fans, yo. Can I get some other fans in here, yo? Nah, yo, y'all good though. But on the for real though, long as Boston can stay healthy, yo, why not? They got, you know what? Let me go ahead and give y'all a quick Boston love real quick. Yeah, I said I was going to do this video a while ago, so I'm going to do it right here live for y'all. Jason Tatum is probably, in my opinion, the best American ball player right now. He's the number 1 American ball player in the NBA. Jason Tatum has accomplished a lot in his short, brief time in the NBA. Now, I ain't saying that Jason Tatum is like a rookie or anything in that nature, but Jason Tatum accomplished a lot before the age of 27. Jason Tatum has been to multiple times to the Eastern Conference Finals. Jason Tatum continues to always be in the MVP conversation now. The only thing I had to say about Jason Tatum on that, I wish that he can stop being the 4th best player in the NBA. You know what I mean? Because I really feel like that Jason Tatum can really put a team on his back. I don't think that it's just because of what team that he's on. I don't think it's because it's Boston. You feel me? I really feel like if you put Jason Tatum anywhere in the NBA on any team, I really feel like Jason Tatum can carry a team to a playoff run. Now, I ain't saying that Jason Tatum will go ahead and carry each team to a championship, but I really feel like that Jason Tatum can really do take a team to a playoff, yo. It doesn't matter what team it is. But Jason Tatum, before the age of 27, has 406 points, which is 6th. He already has 380 wins, which is 4th. He has made 1,502 3-points made, which is 1st, yo. Like, and his playoff record, his playoff stats are just phenomenal as well. Jason Tatum has 2,711 points, which is 1st. Jason Tatum has 897 rebounds, which is 2nd. He has 549 assists, which is 6th. He has 126 steals, which is 9th. He has made 263 3-pointers, which is 1st. And he got 68 playoff wins. Yeah. That's his stats all before the age of 27. This is why I can really contest and say that Jason Tatum is the best American ball player in the NBA. Now, like I said, this is taking away Jokic. This is also taking away SGA. This is also taking away Giannis. Talking about KD. I'm talking about LeBron. I'm talking about Steph. You know what I mean? Even though that these guys, don't get me wrong. KD, LeBron, and Steph is coming to be Mount Rushmores of the NBA. We already know what they solidified and everything that they did. I'm saying that right now. Jason Tatum can do it all. I think that, don't get me wrong, KD has been bouncing around from team to team, and KD is my guy. Everybody knows that. But right now, the Suns is struggling to get into the playoffs. It's not all KD's fault, but, you know what I mean, at this stage of KD's career, yo, he's not the guy that you can really put a team on his back and say, like, yo, this is your team. You feel me? Steph, before Jimmy Butler got there, he was struggling. The Warriors were struggling. They started off hot. But then after a while, when everybody was like, well, we're going to let Steph do his thing. We're going to just make sure everybody else. Steph was getting tired. You know what I mean? And the Warriors was struggling to actually stay in playoff in the playoff race as well. Even though LeBron was and the Lakers was having okay success before the whole Luka trade, but now that you really got a second star that can really kind of take over a little bit, LeBron doesn't have to be that guy every night anymore. He can take breaks. Jason Tatum don't really take that many breaks. Now, don't get me wrong. Do he have off nights? Yes, he does. And I wish that, like I said, my only downfall for Jason Tatum, I just want him to actually come out this 4th spot when it comes to the MVP race. And I think that one of the reasons why a lot of people is holding him back from that is because of the team that he's on. They're going to say, like, well, Boston is a well-built team. Boston got all-stars and Olympians and stuff like that. That's what everybody's going to be the argument about. So I really feel like that JT is that guy. He is the best American ball player in the NBA right now. So to all my Boston fans, Mike B and Kurt, yo, there y'all go, yo. I gave y'all what I said I was gonna give y'all. Yeah, y'all got the y'all a deep team. You know what I mean? Y'all that's what makes y'all a great team and a hard team to beat when it will come playoff time against any other team in the NBA. Like I said, the only fight that I can really see y'all really going against is maybe the Cleveland Cavaliers. They had a real solid year, you feel me? So that's why I really just take my hats off to them. We have so many weapons. Never to mention that we don't have a nice bench, but you seen what we did to Kyrie and Luka. But to Kyrie and Luka defense, yo, Luka don't play fucking defense. And he's a Laker right now. So, and I I've been saying that. And Luka also whines and cries a lot. So he takes a lot of breaks when he does that. Get a lot of texts. Get himself out the game. And then when he's like he can like to the point that can dig your team deep into a hole, and it takes a lot. By the time you get to come back, you're tired, you're gassed. You ain't got enough energy to do that. And then, Kyrie was out there doing his thing as best as he can, but that it's not Kai team. Last year it wasn't Kai team. It was all about Luka. Kai was just playing the supporting cast last year. So, and plus, after Luka and Kai, really, they wasn't that much scoring from nobody else. Now, don't get me wrong, they can get people involved from time to time, but it wasn't consistent for the Dallas Mavericks. You know what I mean? And like I said, y'all had players that can just rotate. It can be Jason Tatum go off for 20. Then Jaylen Brown go off for 20 with him. Then you got Jason Tatum go off for 20 again. Then you got Dark White can probably have a great goddamn shooting night. Then you can have Pritchard, who's now probably going to wind up in being the sixth man of the year. He's having these 20 plus nights. When Drew Holiday, he can go out here and have a good night. Then you can go out here and have Porzingis. So it's just like it's hard to beat a team where you can just always just keep going here. It's just like, who do you stop? How do you stop the team? You're just going to have to just hopefully that Boston, the only Boston downfall, in my opinion, is that these guys shoot a lot of threes. And if they live by the three and die by the three. And if they not on with the three, then they ain't on. And if another team is on and they're able to catch them, that's Boston downfall right there. So that's how I feel. There y'all go. There go my Boston rant. I hope y'all happy. You ain't gonna ever hear it again. Say no. But nah, yo. Let's go ahead and switch it to the last subject before I get y'all up out of here. And the last subject, last but not least, is my ladies. The WNBA, yo. It's right around the corner. As you so close to being right in the corner, you feel me? That right after the women's NCAA tournament, they go straight into the draft. And then right after the draft, they go straight to their team facilities, and the season we get ready to crank up by like the summertime for real. Spring's already here, it's already kicked in. Easter's a couple weeks away, so you already know time is about to start ticking. And the WNBA season is going to be tipping off. But will it? You know what I mean? Now, we all heard the speculations and the rumors that it can possibly be a lockout year. That if the CBA negotiations for the WNBA doesn't really go well, the ladies could potentially lock out. Potentially. And these are just rumors and speculations. You know what I mean? We don't know how things is going to shape out. Hopefully things do shape up well, because these ladies deserve to be paid. These ladies has put out some great product. And if y'all have not been paying attention, last season for the WNBA was a success. Ratings was high. Ratings was on point. And it wasn't just certain games. It was almost like every game. Now, don't get me wrong. There's certain games get higher ratings than others, possibly. But the WNBA also had a great All-Star weekend. They was able to function a great product and really showcase the ladies. But you want to know what really showcased the ladies and was really sparked up these CBA talks and negotiations and the worth was the unrivaled league. I know the WNBA was like, damn, why did they do this to us? Now, don't get me wrong. The commissioner of the WNBA was in attendance, and I'm pretty sure, I'm hoping that she was able to take notes and be able to hear what the players was actually out there saying. You know what I mean? And so they can bring back to the W. and help the W keep growing to where it should be, because the W is growing, Doug. If y'all haven't really paid attention, the W was almost better than the NBA season last year. You know what I mean? Now I understand like the dunks and all that, and we don't get a lot of dunks in the WNBA, but and the people who was like, well, it's just fundamental basketball. But what the ladies was able to do was able to fill arenas, sell out different arenas, had to move to bigger arenas, stuff like that. But what the Unrivaled did, like their numbers was great. They had average viewers on TNT and True TV up to 99% versus the Unrivaled regular season average was 364,000 average viewers. And then their peak was 385,000 peak viewers. But the inaugural season, by the end of the numbers, after the numbers was all crunched and everything, on TNT and True TV, they had 11.9 million viewers. Whew. When it comes to Bleacher Report, Bleacher Women's, and stuff like that, they have reached 160 plus million viewers on cross platforms and stuff like that. 160 plus million, The Unrivaled was the 10th most watched women's basketball games on TNT in any sports platform all time. 10 most watched. That's big numbers for the ladies. So shout out to the ladies, And like I said, if y'all did not watch that season, you late to the party. Hopefully you attend next year, because they showed out though. But can't hold you. The WNBA is on the right path, in my opinion, because the draft tickets are all sold out. Now, I don't know what their numbers is. I'm pretty sure later on in the future their numbers will pop out. But they are all sold out for their draft tickets. And that's dope for the ladies. And that's through Ticketmaster. So the WNBA is on the right path. You're showing that, you get some money. You're able to get some people to come to your drafts. You know what I mean? Now, we all know that. Just seeing that news that Paige Beckers is most definitely declaring for the draft, this upcoming draft for the ladies. So shout out to Paige Beckers. Everybody was thinking that she was going to skip this year draft, play the Unrivaled first, and then go to the WNBA draft in 2026. But she just announced a couple of hours ago that she will declare for this year draft. So the numbers is about to go up. Everybody believe that Paige Becker is the next up and coming star for the W. So I most definitely can't wait to see where she fall at, what team she goes to. I'm hearing chatter that she's the potentially number one draft pick, and that goes to the Dallas Wings. And if that happens, I think that's a good move, solid move. Help Enrique get another score, polished type player. I still think that they should go ahead and get Olivia Miles, but another conversation another time. But the W is, like I said, is trending upwards. They're starting to figure it out a little bit. Now, the W released their schedule. And their schedule is a little favoritive a little bit, you feel me? The W schedule had came out. The 26 WNBA games this season, including 10 for the Indiana Fever, 10 games, 10 televised games for the Indiana Fever. The number one team, they having the number one national televised games this year. 10 of them. That's more than the team that just won the WNBA, which was the New York Liberty. But I get it. Caitlin Clark is the brand. Caitlin Clark is probably potentially get ready to be the face of the league soon. Caitlin Clark brings money out. Everybody loves Caitlin Clark. So there's no disrespect to her. And the Indiana Fever had went on here and made some good free agency moves this year. So they also kind of, I think they like third favorite to actually compete for the WNBA championship to make the finals. And that's pretty dope. But they were just a second round team last year. And they got more games than the team that actually won the championship last year, who's arguably probably have the number 2 and the number 3 best player in the league with Breanna Stewart and what's my girl name? Jaquel. Dang, I forgot her name. She won Finals MVP. So, man, and then you got Sabrina Ionescu there, who's probably arguably top 10 best player in the WNBA right now. And, you know what I mean? They came in second, you know what I mean? Because they got 9 national televised games. And then the Las Vegas Aces has 8 televised national televised games. 13 of these games will be hosted on ABC. You know what I mean? They will be hosted on like ABC, ESPN, which is dope for the ladies. Like I said, but majority of those games is going to be Caitlin Clark and whoever they play, the Indiana Fever and whoever they play. They're going to be on a lot of TVs. I was just saying that the Mystics, 2 of the Mystics and the Indiana Fever games are coming here to Baltimore this season. They're not even playing in the DC arena. They coming here. And I ain't gonna hold you. I gotta find those tickets because I most definitely wants to be in the house for that, yo. They playing twice here, so I most definitely at least want to go to one of those games. But I just kind of find it ironic that is it crazy to say that I don't think that the Indiana Fever should have more games than more national televised games. Let me say that. Than the New York Liberty. I don't think they should. And you know, I mean, they could probably have over the Aces, maybe. I still feel like the Aces should be number 2 because they had the reigning MVP coming in the house and Asia Wilson. Then they just got Drew Lloyd. Still got Chelsea Gray. Still got Jackie Young. You know what I mean? Kelsey Plum not there no more. So I really feel like the Aces is something, a team to watch out for to see, you know what I mean, will they be able to get back on that title hunt as well. But like I said, I get it marketing wise, because the more you put Caitlin Clark on TV, the more views you get, the more money, the more revenue it goes. That's just pretty much how it goes. But I just feel like that it ain't fair. That number one, that Caitlin Clark is getting this much exposure more than any other teams. You know what I mean? We got a new team coming in, the Golden State Valkyries. I'm pretty sure, you know what I mean, people gonna want to tune in to see who they are. The Chicago Sky. We already know that. I believe that Angel Reese and them should be able to get some good televised games this year. Who else? The Atlanta Dream. They went on here and just went crazy in the free agency as well. How come they didn't get you know what I mean, a nice amount of national televised games? So I just really just think that that it sucks that that the Indiana Fever was favored to get these many games, but I get it. It's a brand. It's all about the money, and the WNBA just knows what they're doing, because if they can go ahead and generate this much national televised, especially when it comes up to the All-Star games, because I'm pretty sure that we're gonna have that All-Star game versus I don't know how they're gonna do it this year, because the Olympic team ain't been built this year, so Want to know how they're going to do their All-Star games? They're going to do it East and West? Never know, but it's going to be interesting. If they're going to have that 3-point contest, Caitlin Clark going to enter that versus Sabrina. That's, you know what I mean? So the W has time. They can most definitely generate a nice revenue coming up this upcoming season. I really just feel like that they will generate, and I will think they're going to put out a nice product, and I think they will all come to a great CBA negotiation, So I can't wait to see what the W got to come up this year, yo. Shout out to the W, shout out to the ladies, shout out to women's basketball, yo. Shout out to Caitlin Clark and everybody in the W, you feel me? So there you have it, yo. That was my opinions on everything, yo. I gave you my opinion on the NFL world, what is the New England Patriots. I gave you the NBA world, the Detroit Pistons, and how far they would go. And I gave you my opinion on the WNBA as they have released their new schedule this coming year. So I appreciate everybody who tuned in and chimed in. You feel me in the comments. Shout out to my guy Kurt. Shout out to my guy Mike. For y'all in the comments, show keep the show alive a little bit. So make sure y'all go out here and spread the word that this my 147th thought is out, yo. They can most definitely follow me on all my social media platforms, as you can see on the ticker. You can most definitely catch me on Instagram and TikTok at MTMO_sports podcast. And for my Facebook and X, you can catch me at my THTS, my opinion. So make sure y'all go out there and check those platforms out. Make sure if you listen to the audio version, make sure you check out Spotify and Apple Music for your audio play. Make sure y'all go out here and check out Walk a Mile in Our Shoes on all social media platforms. As you can see on bottom of my ticker, as you can see, is Walk a Mile in the letter N. Our Shoes, yo. Like I said, it's a great nonprofit organization that's out here helping the community, give back to the community the best way we can possibly can. So make sure y'all go out here and follow the movement, yo. And like I said in the beginning of the show, if you're not a subscriber already, please go out here, like, share, subscribe to this YouTube channel as I'm trying to reach to my mini goal of 1,000 subscribers. So go out here and tell a friend who can possibly be a friend that MTMO Sports Podcast is the podcast you need in your rotation. Also, help me out here to get my MTMO gear out, yo. If you want to get your MTMO gear, yo, make sure y'all go to my link tree, go to the spread shop and shop, yo. You feel me? Like I got hats, shirts, hoodies, shorts, coffee mugs, backpacks, computer bags, gym bags. Yo, go out here and support me, yo. Help me put MTMO gear out here in the streets, you feel me? So like I said, if I go to my link tree, go to my spread shop and go out here and support, yo. What else? I think that's about it, yo. So as always, yo, I catch y'all when I catch y'all. Most definitely I catch y'all here next week. Same time, same place, same channel. You feel me? Make sure y'all tap in as I give y'all some dope topics. As always, you feel me? So greatly appreciate y'all for tuning in to my 147th thought, yo. And I catch y'all next week, same time, same location I just said. I holla.